You see what I'm saying? You see how the password and the key system goes? Like I said, a table. We may be sitting at a table. I might say, wow, this table, while we're playing the card game Spades, I might say, this table is a little wobbly. To the, we may be over somebody's house. I might say, your table is a little wobbly. This is a wobbly table, you know. While we're playing spades, we gotta work. We gotta play cards with a wobbly table. You know, I don't know if we. I don't want to play spades here. And let's go shoot some pool. See, table, pool. Uh, I seen James yesterday on the corner. Yeah, on the corner. I seen James on the corner. You know, but I might say it so fast. I seen James James. I seen him on the corner yesterday. I haven't seen James in a long time on the corner. Oh, hey, what's wrong with this table? It's got kind of wobbly. Corner table. It's kind of wobbly, you know. And then as time goes on real fastly, I might say, you know, oh yeah, you know, yesterday, man, I tore my pocket, man. I had my keys and my pen in my pocket. Then when I went to reach for my keys, I ripped my pocket. See, I've just mentioned pocket, corner, table, all those things associated with shooting pool. And by shooting pool, you win the pool game by running the 8 ball. If you run the 8 ball, you win the game pool. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you do it. And that's how you associate a password with any of the 52 cards plus the 2 jokers, is that you assign a password that will help you and your partner know which card you're talking about. And the keys are just little support words or phrases that further help identify your card. And that's how it's done. These passwords that I have assigned to the 52 cards are passwords that I have assigned to these cards to help me identify each and every other 52 cards. But you can sit down and create your own password and keys that further help you. Like I said, a lot of my passwords are based on a lot of old movies or old singers or singing groups, you know, and that's what I did. But you can come up with passwords and keys for things that are current, and singers that are current, and movies that are current, that you like and that you have watched and seen, and the singers that you have listened to, that further help you create your own. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do is sit down and think and create. And when you do that, be very colorful. Because a lot of memory experts, I'm not a memory expert, I'm just me, a lot of memory experts will tell you that if you are very colorful and there's action and there's color and there's exaggeration in anything that you do, any book that you read or anything that you do, it'll further help you memorize. That's why a lot of young children can tell you what that happened in everything that happened in that cartoon. Because cartoons are colorful, there's exciting, there's action, there's things that happen that's above the norm. You have to go up beyond the veil. And when you go beyond the veil and go above the norm, you'll see what I'm saying. So if you ever read a memory book or listen to a memory tape, it tells you to be very colorful and have a lot of action. Therefore, if you attach action and color and movement and exaggeration to anything, you will remember it. You will remember everything that you do in life. A lot of things that you remember that has happened to you in your past, it was exciting. It was other than the norm. It was colorful. It was, it was exaggerated, and that's how you remember a lot of things you remember in the past, because there was a lot of action, a lot of excitement, a lot of emotion going on at that time. That causes you to remember. A lot of people need to forget the past. Let things go, because what you call it? A lot of things that happened to you in the past that was traumatizing. You remember that, and you hold on to it, and it affects your future. It affects the now. It affects right now. It affects right now, because you won't let it go, because it was something that happened to you that was very traumatic. And traumatic things, you always remember those. And sometimes you need to let those things go and live for the future. That's what I'm saying. So anything that is very colorful and has action, you will remember. But hopefully it's something good. So when you're assigning your own passwords and keys to all the 52 cards plus the 2 jokers, make sure it's colorful, excited, exaggerated, something other than a norm. Other than a norm. Singing frogs, talking dogs, things like that. That's beyond the veil. That is beyond the veil. And I share this little story with you before I leave you. Is that when I was in the Air Force back in the 80s, when I was in the Air Force back in the 80s, you had to take this test. When you're going from very possibly a senior airman to a staff sergeant, you had to take this test in order to get the next stripe to take you to the level of staff sergeant. And that was the hardest test in the world. It was around 300 questions, and all the answers were similar. Therefore, it made the test harder. And you had to score 85% out of those 300 questions, right? So, and me not being the greatest test taker, not being the greatest brainiac in the world, that test was like, wow, there's no way I could pass that, because I took it and I failed. And then I did this one day. What I did one day is I took, you get 4 to 5 to 6 volumes, depending on which career that you're in. You get 4 and 5 volumes to study for 6 months. Then after you study those, you go take that big test. And if you pass that test, out of maybe 30 to 40,000 airmen that are taking the same test on the same day as you, maybe about 200 might just pass. You see what I'm saying? That test is hard. It's hard to get that other stripe, because that test is hard. It's a long test. You sit there for hours taking that test. But what I did was